welcome in. It is the Columbus Lions Coaches Show alongside head coach Jason Gibson. I am Josh Pate. A big night coming up, Myrtle Beach in town. Before we get to that, though, and all the festivities going on, let's talk about last week, Coach. Atlanta in town, undefeated no more, 65-8 the final. Kind of a misleading final score. Maybe if I left at halftime, I saw a close game. Ends up being a blowout, though.
Yeah, it worked out for us because it was, from a fan standpoint, the first half, I think it was 19-8 at halftime. So I'm scratching my head, but we only had the ball 3 times. You know, me and you were talking about it off air, but I've never seen anything like that in all my years. I mean, we had it 3 times and scored all 3 times, but we just couldn't get off the field.
You had a number of obviously big-time performances individually. We'll talk about that, but you know, I was kind of asking you. Atlanta goes on almost a 9-minute drive to open the game. That's kind of what led to the limited possessions for you in the first half. How rare is something like that?
You said the best. It's rare in outdoor football. In an outdoor game, you go, wow, they had to go for 8 minutes. But to do it on half the field was insane. And the drives kept being extended by penalties. I think we had 8 or 9 penalties in the first half, so that was kind of on us. But it was a good game plan, whether they knew it or not. But it worked for them, kept the game close. The way to limit the possessions, keep their offense off the field.
What's the message during halftime?
Actually, you know, I didn't go in there screaming and yelling. I could have. But that sometimes, when you scream and yell, that's only effective if you use it at a certain time point, or a certain point in time. But I just went in there and we talked about what we needed to do, and we talked about just picking tempo up. We had done it the prior week against Central Florida where we were going. We kept our foot on the gas for 60 minutes just trying to run. We wanted to give up 40 points late. And we had a bunch of mental mistakes lining up and Simon's running around. So I kind of told the players in first half, let's slow down the pace a little bit. Let's make sure we execute and we line up, our alignment and assignment, the basic principles that I'm about as a coach on the team. And it, not to say it backfired on us, but we went at halftime. The players at the meeting and said, Coach, let's go. So, all right, that one's on me. Let's go. And we saw the second half.
Second half ends up leading to a 65-8 final score. The 65 jumps out, just like the 86 did, just like the 90 did. The 8 jumps out as well. This is 2 times in 3 games we've held an opponent inside of double digits.
The 8 stands out more than 65. I mean, we scored 3 touchdowns in 30 seconds. I think it was an interception by Roe Marshall. To the 1 we scored. The next series, they throw a pick 6 to Damian, then we kick off and we recover a fumble in the end zone. I mean, it just started a steamroll after that. But the 8 points, the fact that they had the ball as much, I think they had the ball for almost 40 minutes, something like that, and to give up 8 points is something to be said.
You had a number of players you added to the roster just last week, familiar names. I know Lindsey Wolf get you finally. Your first deuce of the year had to be nice to see.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it was even nicer, the guys on the kickoff team, because Lindsey kicks it out of the end zone. They don't have to run down and tackle. So that was great. Kendrick Washington played great. You know, just a lot of cats. Davin Hawkins came in. We had some guys coming in. Jerome Jr. We've had guys been practicing here that was their first chance to get on the field, so we can do some kind of evaluations and see where we're at as we head into the meat of the schedule.
Michael Reeve continues to put up huge numbers each and every week. Last week, no different.
I mean, huge like he is, right? You know, when you're 6'8", and he's I'm not gonna say he's our go-to guy. We didn't really go to him early because we were trying to take advantage of. The thing about Michael is when you put Mike in the middle at 6'8", he demands a lot of attention, and then you have John Harris and Jarmon Fortune on the outside. So kind of pick your poison. And I got lost a little bit trying to get the ball to John because I knew he could run by everybody. But they were playing a quality defense. They were doing a great job. They were basically saying, okay, nobody's going to run a post on us. We're going to bail out. And then once we figured that out, it just came back to Mike and it worked out.
I know after the Central Florida game, you talked about the fact that, even though you won 90-42, blowout win, you saw some things at the end of that game you didn't like. So you walk away from this game. Another blowout win. Maybe some things you didn't like in this game. What did you take away from it?
No, it's weird. I watched the film again yesterday before I went to see the players. And when I looked at the stats, and I looked at the goals that we talked about as a team, what we're trying to accomplish, they did it. When I sat there and thought back to the meeting, and I reviewed my notes from the meeting, from the Phoebus Monday against Central Florida, there was a lot of things we didn't do as an offense. We didn't hit our marks, and people don't know this. When you watch the game, if you look at the hashes on the field, there's 4 hashes, and then we call them the college hash and the pro hashes. So there's 2 college hashes on the outside, and there's 2 pro hashes right down the middle of the field. When we run our routes are dictated upon the marks on the field. So when you watch a guy running, he's not just running a post route. He has to hit a certain mark for the play to kind of align up with our spacing. And we weren't doing that against Central Florida. And when you watch the film against Atlanta, we hit our marks, and it was pretty effective.
A lot more to get to today with head coach Jason Gibson. I'm Josh Pate. It's the Columbus Lions Coaches Show. This week's elite defensive player of the game, a guy very active Saturday night. Roshan Marshall, coach, has 7 tackles, 1 interception in this game. He was everywhere.
He was, and he made a lot of tackles. He's playing with us with some intensity, and he's flying around. I've challenged him at practice. He's responded. It was good for him to get a pick. The DBs hadn't got a lot of work this year, but the last 2 games they're starting to get a little more work, and they're shaking the rust off, and just stepped up and was a vet. And
a very familiar name for the Midas Player of the Week, his brother, Joe Marshall. 2 tackles for loss in Saturday's game against Atlanta. 1 block, 1 quarterback hurry, filled up the stat sheet.
He was all over the place. And we had a bunch of players. Zach Velasquez played great. He had a ton of tackles. So there was a lot of guys out there, but Joe was just kind of wreaking havoc. He was all over the place, and the stats don't lie.
Plenty more to get to, including our rookie spotlight. We'll catch up with Shawn Nelson when we come back. It is the Columbus Lions Coaches Show alongside head coach Jason Gibson. I'm Josh Pate. Stay with us.
Chiropractic care from Broadwin & Associates can unlock your body's natural healing process. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, a healthier life, the reduction of pain, no more disc problems or sciatica, less stress on your body, no need for medicine, epidurals, or even surgery, and the ability to live your life.
With almost 500,000 patient visits over the last 34 years, don't just take my word for it, ask a friend.
Call Dr. J. Broadwin & Associates today.
Getting cared for at a cancer and research treatment center with the latest technology is a good thing. Getting cared for in the same city where you and your loved ones live, well, that's simply better. The region's only cancer and research center, the John B. Amos Cancer Center, is right where you need it, with compassionate care that helps patients finish treatment and get back to the place that matters most, home. Columbus Regional Health, simply better care.
Welcome back in. It is the Columbus Lions Coaches Show. Head coach Jason Gibson has tapped out in favor of Lions rookie Shawn Nelson. Shawn, it's your really first time in indoor football. It's your first time in professional football. This has got to feel like a good organization to get your foot in the water with. Columbus Lions still undefeated this year. What's it been like so far?
It's been fun. It's been definitely a learning curve for me. Being in Columbus, just around the camaraderie of the team is definitely a level of professionalism that you have to go by. And coming straight out of college, it's a little bit different. You have more freedom to yourself, so you have to really train yourself to be a professional, especially playing under Coach Gibson.
You look at the Lions roster, and it is littered with guys from every level of college ball, from all over the country. Tell me about where you played college ball.
I played college ball at a small Division II school in Raleigh, North Carolina, St. Augustine's University. We played in the CIAA conference. We usually finished up around, mediocre in the conference. We had a couple of big schools, Winston-Salem State, played against those guys. And Fort Valley State, I guess people from here are more familiar with them. We played against them in actually a bowl game in Columbus, so right next door to the arena where we play now. So that's kind of ironic for me.
You told me as a team you finished kind of middle of the road. You as an individual, didn't you? You led all of Division II in sacks.
Yes, sir.
Out of the entire country, there was no one in Division II that sacked the quarterback more times than you did.
No, sir. And I did it from a 3 technique position, so I guess that was a more impressive side of it. You usually see defensive ends getting up in the sack count like that. I think I led the nation my senior year with 13 sacks that season from the 3 Tech. And the year before, I think my defensive end led the nation with 14 sacks, and he's actually playing for the Florida Tarpons right now. So when we go to Florida, when Florida comes here, it should be definitely a good one for us.
Everybody looking forward to that game, it seems. Do you have a nickname on this team?
I do have a nickname on this team.
What would that be?
They call me Baby Straight Hand.
I can't possibly see any reason from where I sit. Why would that be?
I think it's because we play at the same level, I think, and maybe my smile, I guess, it gives it away.
Yeah, maybe a combination of both. Actually, when you leave the game of football, you eventually want to be a dentist, do you not?
I do. I plan on entering dental school. I actually was going to do it before I played football. You know, God has a way of showing you different things in your life, so I chose to come back to the game of football.
When you transition back on the field here, when you go from the college game to the indoor game, I like to ask this, I think I have every week so far in this Rookie Spotlight. For you, though, the biggest adjustment from the outdoor game to the indoor game has been what?
I would say the speed of the game and just the spacing of it all. Outdoor game, you feel like you have unlimited space, but here you definitely have to maintain a level of discipline when you're rushing. And versus the outdoor game, you can pretty much run freely and still be able to sack the quarterback or not have to worry about getting the ball thrown over your head or anything like that. So,
when you were first coming into this league versus what you've seen now, you've probably heard about the Lions organization. You've now gotten a taste of what it's like on the inside. Fans have their own interpretation of their pride in a team, but you now as a player, you've been here however long you've been here now. You've played a number of games here. What does it mean maybe to wear that jersey you're wearing right now?
It means a lot that Coach Gibson believed in me even after it's a funny story about me coming in. I actually had an opportunity to come in last season and turned it down, and they ended up winning the championship. Crazy on my end. But just having the opportunity to wear it and him giving me another chance is just such a blessing. It shows the kind of character guy he is, that he's really a stand-up guy. If you can play, you're going to play. And I think that's the success of this organization, is that he keeps guys in that's the best will play, and that's what he stands by.
Got about 30 seconds left here. Individual goals, team goals for the rest of the season. What do you see?
Remain on the roster for myself. Keep getting better. For the team, would like to see us, gel a little bit more and get to the championship game again.
Lions rookie Shawn Nelson. Shawn, appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to have you.
Thank
we'll
you.
have more with head coach Jason Gibson. We'll also talk about Youth Sports Night when we come back. It is the Columbus Lions Coaches Show. Stay with us.
Chiropractic care from Broadwin & Associates can unlock your body's natural healing process. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, a healthier life, the reduction of pain, no more disc problems or sciatica, less stress on your body, no need for medicine, epidurals, or even surgery, and the ability to live your life.
With almost 500,000 patient visits over the last 34 years, don't just take my word for it. Ask a friend.
Call Dr. J. Broadwin and Associates today.
Getting cared for at a cancer and research treatment center with the latest technology is a good thing. Getting cared for in the same city where you and your loved ones live, well, that's simply better. The region's only cancer and research center, the John B. Amos Cancer Center, is right where you need it, with compassionate care that helps patients finish treatment and get back to the place that matters most, home. Columbus Regional Health, simply better care.
It was a busy night of sports in the Fountain City. I couldn't help but wonder, how will I cover them all?
Oh, hey, Josh, you want to grab some coffee with me?
How many times do I have to tell you it's the Arrow?
I couldn't help but wonder, how will I cover them all? Games at Carver, Smith Station, in Harris County.
Josh, are you acting like the Arrow again?
I'm acting like the Arrow because I am the Arrow, Jenna.
To them, I'm just a sports anchor, but to the rest of the Fountain City, I'm the Arrow.
welcome back into the Columbus Lions Coaches Show alongside head coach Jason Gibson. I'm Josh Pate. Joining us now, the head coach of the Bi-City Hurricanes, James Bailey. Happy to have you with us. The Bi-City Hurricanes play in a spring youth football league. Tell me about it.
Well, it's something that the Columbus Lions have orchestrated now to bring more youth out to play the game of football, give them more opportunities to do things instead of not something to do. Every kid plays baseball, but a lot of kids love football and they want to play year-round. So this is something that the Columbus Lions organization has developed over the years, and it's something that's brought a lot more kids' interest, and we thank the Lions for that. A lot of kids are doing a lot more things now.
This is a number of years in now. From the initial participation rate to now, how have you seen this league grow?
Tremendously. We've actually grown now to a 5- and 6-year-old division, which is the division I'm coaching, where we didn't have it before. And now that it's gone up to 11 and 12, I would say the kids in that would probably be almost double now.
Head coach Jason Gibson here as well. What was the motivation, aside from the obvious, what was the motivation behind this effort?
There was a lot to it. It was community-based, it was business-based, I mean, just being honest. So one of it is, if we could get the kids that's, playing spring football, this is SEC country, this is football country. We're in Alabama and we're in Georgia. And the concept was, if kids are going to get better, don't just play their 6 or 8 games in the fall. Let's give them 6 or 8 more in the spring. And then you can see some of the improvements. And over time, as long as we running this program, there's a ton of kids now that are in college that came through the spring league and then the fall league, and then they play in the spring again. And it was just a constant, turnover of players, and you get them on the field more. And anything you do repetitive, you get better at. And that was the idea of it. And the second thing is, every kid that plays in our league gets a free Columbus Lions season ticket. So that way, if they could come to the games, then maybe they'll bring mom and dad.
Coach Bailey, where are these games played at? Where's this league located at?
Every game is played at Ladonia over in Phoenix City, Alabama, behind Ladonia School. And we're working on, like Coach said before, working on some things out there as well. They've done a great job. Redoing the field and everything looks great. A lot of people should come out and check it out.
What kind of support have you had? I know from the community here, from the community in Ladonia. Obviously, this has picked up steam as it's gone along. What kind of community involvement have you seen?
I think the biggest community involvement has been the parents, standing behind their kids and talking to people they know. The Columbus Lions is I'm going to always say this, is the biggest supporter of the youth. But as far as the community itself, they're getting more involved with everything, the youth, Columbus Lions, all of it. I would say the biggest thing, though, is the parents going out and reaching out to people as well. Parents are just as involved in this football league as well as the kids are.
Back to Coach Gibson here. There's a lot of misconception about maybe the game of football. 95% of it I disagree with. You probably do as well. There are a lot of people out there that pull away from, whether it be baseball, throwing more. In football, there's some kind of fear out there about, well, more repetitions could lead to bad things. I don't agree with that. Spring football, I know you guys have seen wonderful things happen with that league. What is the benefit of also playing spring football for a youth?
Being around good coaches. He's not going to say it because he's going to be humble, but James, Jerry Crow, Larry Green, all these youth coaches, they're good dads, they're good men, and they're good for these kids. And me as a parent, what's great for practice, because my son plays for Hurricanes, when I get to go to practice and sit in that van and watch practice and be a parent and be zero involved and to watch our kids be disciplined by men who love the game, who also care about the kids, and it's a fine line to watch them. Our kids need that. I believe that strongly. I got no qualms talking about it. It's very family oriented with all the teams, with all the, he talked about the parents being the driving force. The coaches are the driving force because they're giving these kids guidance. They're giving them discipline. I watch my kid out there running laps, doing push-ups. They need that. It's good for them. And then they can't wait for their games. And so that's the biggest, to me, the biggest part of sports. So I'm like with you, all the naysayers about too many reps, things like that. It's better than getting reps with your fingers sitting there playing video games. Yeah. I'll tell you that.
To wrap things up here, I don't know if you have an official mission statement, goal of the league, but just overall, if I were to walk in here as a stranger and ask you, what are you trying to accomplish with this league? I mean, what's the mission statement of this league? what would your answer be to me?
My main thing would to see more kids in it. I want to see more kids out of the house, off the couch, more involved. Kids are able to grow if you let them, if you bring them. If you give them the choice to play, they're going to choose it because it's something that's fun. Not only do the kids get involved with just this growing, but they also get to grow with the Columbus Lions. They get to go to those games. They get to meet professionals. They get to interact with other kids. How more can we get our communities together, but then to put them together? Let them play together. That's how things are going to grow. That's where I want to see it go. One team, one family.
That's their motto.
James Bailey, we appreciate you joining us. Great work, great league over there. You know how you can get involved. The Columbus Lions heavily involved here as well. We'll go to break, but before we do, this week's fan trivia question, and it's one that's directly related to what we just talked about. How long have the Columbus Lions been involved in a youth football league? If you think you know the answer, facebook.com, Columbus Lions Facebook page. Offer it up. We'll see if you're right. We'll wrap it up when we come back with a look at tonight's game. It is the Columbus Lions Coaches Show with head coach Jason Gibson.
Chiropractic care from Broadwin and Associates can unlock your body's natural healing process. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, a healthier life, the reduction of pain, no more disc problems or sciatica, less stress on your body, no need for medicine, epidurals, or even surgery, and the ability to live your life.
With almost 500,000 patient visits over the last 34 years, don't just take my word for it, ask a friend.
Call Dr. J. Broadwin and Associates today.
Getting cared for at a cancer and research treatment center with the latest technology is a good thing. Getting cared for in the same city where you and your loved ones live, well, that's simply better. The region's only cancer and research center, the John B. Amos Cancer Center, is right where you need it, with compassionate care that helps patients finish treatment and get back to the place that matters most, home. Columbus Regional Health, simply better care.
Have you seen your Columbus Botanical Garden lately? The garden is full of spectacular color with endless varieties of beautiful flowers and plants. Escape into nature with our majestic 1-mile walking trail. Be inspired with educational programs geared towards children and adults. With the recent completion of our 10-year plan, the garden is on the move. So come see what everyone is talking about and be inspired to start your own garden. Columbus Botanical Garden, 3603 Weems Road in Columbus. Admission is complimentary.
I'm here to fill you in, because that's what I do. Don't worry about it, because Wendy's got you covered. Like I say, celebrities, their business is our business. You won't believe what I'm about to tell you. You won't complain if I give you more hot topics, will you? I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm just here to state my case and then go back to Jersey.
Weekday afternoons at 3 on WLTC NBC 38.
And welcome back into Columbus Lions Coaches Show alongside head coach Jason Gibson. I'm Josh Pate. Before we went to break, the Facebook fan question was, Coach, how long have the Lions been involved in a youth football league? The answer is
9 years. It's been 9 years, which I can't believe. I got a plaque on my desk from the original season of the original 6 teams total, of maybe 40 kids. And I look back on it, it's amazing. It started back then to where it is now. So.
And here's how crazy this league is now. If I'm a parent and my son is in this league,
Yeah.
not only can I watch every one of his games over again, which I'm sure that you dads like to do, I also know every one of his stats as well.
Well, we tried it. We called it the Elite Youth Spring Football League for a reason. And we have a film guy. He films every single game, and we download it, and it takes time, but it's worth it for the parents. But they can go to YouTube and watch the film, and then we take stats of every game, and it formulates on the website and keeps leaders, and it's just fun things for the kids and the parents. So it's great.
Whew, that's a lot of
It's a
data
lot.
usage for dads, though. A lot of data usage. The Lions involved in the community in that aspect. Other aspects, as always, Camp Corral. Tell me about that.
Oh man, that was so much fun. That's with John Gilbert over at Golden Corral. Great partners of ours. and they put together a camp crowd to raise money for the kids to go to Camp Crown in the summertime. And they came out with the Shriners, and everybody was wearing costumes, and all the players were out there. It was just a really good time to raise money. It was a packed night. We actually moved our practice. We practiced that night about 10 o'clock. So we could go to this event, support Golden Corral, support them. It was my kid had a good time, and what a great cause. And they do so much. Golden Corral does a lot for a lot of people in this community with military night, and I'm so glad to be with them and partner with them. And plus, we love eating there too. So
that's not bad there either. I know you guys visited over at Spring Harbor as well.
Well, we've got a bunch of Spring Harbor ticket holders from the retirement home that are season ticket holders, and they know the game. And they come to every game, they get a bus, they come down, they're all in the same section, but we go there for social hour. John Sims is the director out there, and Juanita Thomas. They do a great job of bringing the players out. They do a 4 to 5 o'clock social hour that they have every Friday anyway. And if you haven't been and you want to party, that's the place to go. You think I'm kidding. They know how to have a good time. And we go out there and we just talk football, we introduce the players and just hang out and eat, and everything else we'll just keep whatever else happens there.
Yeah, the Spring Harbor section, you hear a lot of noise at the game, you hear some cowbells, you hear some rowdiness, and you look over and think you're looking at Benning guys. Oh, it's the Spring Harbor section.
It's funny. What happens at Spring Harbor stays at Spring Harbor.
That's what they say. All right, so tonight, you got Myrtle Beach coming into town, 3-0 right now. I've not watched Myrtle Beach. Our fans probably have not seen much Myrtle Beach. Tell me about the Freedom.
When you say Freedom, I think of Mel Gibson and Braveheart.
Freedom.
Freedom. So I love that movie. But great team, really well organized. They've got some arena talent. Led by quarterback Darryl Clark out of Penn State. It's going to be a problem because he can make things happen with his feet. Anytime a quarterback can extend the game with his feet, even arena football with the walls so tight, it's a problem. And so they're coming in, new kids on the block, but again, there's always a big red X on our back, and I understand that, and people try to use that as a measuring stick. So they've won some games, they've pulled some games out, which gives them some experience, and it's going to be a great game tonight. Tonight, leading into the next week, down the stretch run.
It's Youth Sports Night at the Civic Center tonight. Should be a lot going on. Hope to see you there. The Lions undefeated, looking to stay that way. We appreciate, as always, you joining us. For head coach Jason Gibson, I'm Josh Pate. Thanks for watching the Columbus Lions Coaches Show. We'll see you tonight.